PFRDA, bring our viewers up to speed with what kind of corpus PFRDA is managing. How much is that corpus coming is in equities, how much is that in non-equities?
Nikun, there are two schemes PFRDA regulates and manages, so that is NPS and APY. And APY is a small ticket pension fund. So that is aimed at low income and deprived section of the people. So the fund that we are managing now is about 13.3 lakh crore.
13.3 lakh crore. That's bigger than a lot of AMCs put together.
Yes, absolutely. And largely it comes from the NPS. And the number that we are looking at, NPS and APY put together, is 7.8 crore people.
Unique folios.
Sorry?
These are subscribers or unique folios which
subscribers.
You have? Subscribers.
You see here, NPS, APY, you have to have a unique account.
Okay.
So that means one account per subscriber. So these are the number of subscribers who are coming. But NPS, we have about 1.54 crore subscriber. Out of that, 94 are from the government, because as you know, post 2004 government employee joining there, they have to necessarily come into NPS. And then we have opened it in 2010 to private sector. Even Aam Aadmi can open, any common citizen can open. And now last week we opened it for children. And so that is also seeing an encouraging trend, that we have already under NPS Vatshalya, which is for children. So 31,000 accounts we have opened. So it's a good, this product is picking up. And going forward, there's a lot more potential, particularly from the private sector, to come in there.
At what rate is the NPS corpus growing at?
Corpus, two things. One would be the contribution, and the other thing is how the market is performing. As you see now, the market both across debt and equity are performing well. So given that scenario, annual increase in corpus is about about 30% CAGR.
This includes the NAV appreciation also?
Yes. Both put together is about 30%. And in terms of the number that we are seeing private sector, I am talking just of NPS. So annual growth in number is about 21%.
Okay. So 7.5 crore account. Within that 1.5 crore accounts, I'm using the word accounts here.
Yes.
Is private sector?
No. 1.5 is NPS.
Okay.
Out of that, say 90 as government, 60 are private. 60 lakh.
60 lakh is private. The private sector contribution is growing at about 20% plus.
Yeah. Private sector people joining.
People joining is at 20%
plus.
Okay. And what about the government sector?
Government sector, as and when people come, necessarily they would have to join. So that depends on the government recruitment. So normally 6 to 7% kind of a rate that we see on that side.
Within that corpus of 13 lakh crore, how much is invested in equities and how much is invested in debt?
See, out of that, about 20% are in equity. So that would be like 2.7 lakh crore is in equity.
Okay.
Of course, people have the choice. That here what happens, that if you are coming through private sector, from your active choice, you can choose equity oriented NPS, where 75% of your investment can go into equity.
Okay. If this rate of growth continues by private sector contributors coming to NPS, which is 20% plus, do you think mathematically in 5 to 7 years, the split could be 50-50?
Yes, certainly, because that is what is happening, because the way the growth is coming on the private side, at one point the private sector would overwhelm the government sector in terms of, certainly in terms of number, and take a little couple of years in terms of the corpus, because in the government corpus what happens, the government also contributes and the employee also contributes.
Mathematically, can you establish a ballpark number for us as to how much PFRD every year, including the government and the private scheme, is investing in equities?
So this is what the number I gave you. So that's both. That's both.
So 2 lakh crore is broadly the 2.2 lakh crore is the broadly the total investment PFRDA has done in equities.
Yeah. So no, again, this is done by by the professional fund manager. Of course, we do investment guidelines. They can put in the top 200 scripts as things stand now. And so they make the choice looking at the market and things like that and the performance.
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits. And then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.